videos. The Drunken Peasants is lucky to make it over 2,000 views 90% of the time. And they're losing a lot of money. They're bleeding money. The Amazing Atheist on his own YouTube channel is becoming irrelevant. He's got over 1 million subscribers, but it's obvious most of them are either fake, or they're sock accounts, or they're people that no longer exist anymore on the internet, because he can't break 100,000 views on 90% of his videos. And it usually takes 2 weeks to a month before he ever puts a new video up. And even after a month of sitting there, he cannot break 100,000 views. I think that I've done my job. I think that because of my interactions and because of my videos and because of other people out there exposing the Amazing Atheist, I can see very clearly that he's becoming more and more irrelevant every day. He's literally fading out. And a lot of people don't know this, but that was TJ Kirk's worst fear. His nightmare was that at some point in time, he wouldn't be edgy no more. He wouldn't be considered important. He wouldn't be considered valuable to the atheist community. And even a great deal of atheists nowadays see him nothing more as a troll, see him nothing more as just a shit disturber, and they do not have the same consideration and respect for him that they used to. So as far as I'm concerned, those interactions I did on the Drunken Peasants, the negative interactions I had with them in the past, they've caught up with him. And I know what some people will say, that very few people who are still fans of him will say, well, Brett, your channel's dead, your channel's this. Well, I've been through 30 YouTube channels. This channel that I'm on is new, and it's steadily climbing in subscribers and views. And even if it wasn't, it wouldn't matter to me, because this is never what YouTube or social media has been about for me. If I can do live broadcasts and make a few friends, real friends out of it, then I've succeeded at what it is that I am ambitious about, what I desire. I don't give a fuck if I'm as popular as PewDiePie. I don't care if I have 1 billion subscribers. What I care about is being able to make friends with religious people and non-believers. And I've done well at that. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people who love me. I have people who would take a bullet for me. And that's all I ever wanted when I came to social media, was to be able to interact with other people. I didn't ever believe that I was going to become rich. I never believed for a moment, not one single time in my entire YouTube career, did I ever think I was going to get wealthy or be on the cover of magazines or be on the fucking news, even though somehow I did manage to get on CNN once, folks. I don't know if a lot of you knew that. I got to be on CNN. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, and it sure wasn't so fantastic when TJ Kirk appeared on it either. But it was what it was. A guy like me actually managing to be seen or shown anywhere and shit was impressive to me. I never thought anybody would actually give a fuck, to be honest with you. Well, that's the story. If anybody has any other questions, as far as I'm concerned, this ends it for me with the drama. This ends it with me telling my side of the story. I've done part 1 where I talk about reporting and what kind of stuff I report. I admit to reporting people. I don't admit to false flagging because it's something I've never done. I only report people if I think it's valid and they've done something extremely terrible. I've also talked about the video of people making accusations of domestic abuse and terrible, awful things. I've responded to all that. So now I've got a video that I can give people when they have questions about it. And this is the last thing, because it's really the only drama, major drama I've ever had on the internet was between me, this guy, and a whole bunch of his audience members. I don't have any drama or hatred with religious people of different faiths. I have a lot of friends like that, and I'm also steadily, every single day, making more friends that are non-believers, and I still have non-believer friends from my past. That's where I'm at. This is my story. And I think if anyone out there is rational or logical or has any fucking moral decency, you can understand why it is I went after TJ Kirk in the past. I think he was fully deserving of it. I think that if someone like this had sex with your child or was talking about how he masturbated to your child, you would be pissed off too. God bless. ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brett Keene from God TV Radio, and I wanted to let you all know that the Drunken Peasants breaks community guidelines in terms of service on YouTube. Let me explain how so. According to the terms of service, it states this: you are not allowed to harass people. You are not allowed to make abusive videos towards people or comments or messages revealing someone's personal information, maliciously recording someone without their consent. I've never given the Drunken Peasants consent to take my footage or record any of my live hangouts and place them on their own videos and monetize them. Deliberately posting content in order to humiliate someone, I think we've all got it figured out that that's the entire point of the Drunken Peasants, was to try to humiliate me, as well as many other religious people out there. I don't know if a lot of you realize this, but Christianity is actually considered, because of it's a religion and a faith-based practice, it's considered a protected group. Attacking Christians is not acceptable on YouTube or by Google. Making hurtful and negative comments videos about another person. They made entire segments, entire series about me on the Drunken Peasants. Unwanted sexualization, which encompasses sexual harassment or sexual bullying in any form. There's a video out there with TJ actually talking about a dirty dream that he had about him having sex with me in his own video. Incitement to harass other users or creators. Not only did the Drunken Peasants harass me and also send their audience to aggravate me, but they did it to Tommy Sotomayor as well as many other YouTubers out there. Terms of service violation, cyberbullying, slander, fraud, scam, harassment, doc dropping encourages audiences to attack other YouTubers. As you can see, the Drunken Peasants, as well as with Ben, they violated every single one of the things that I have read off of the terms of service and community guidelines of YouTube. Now, I have never bothered to deal with them at all. I have gotten rid of other people that I felt went over the line, and I'll be honest with you, the only reason why I let TJ Kirk off the hook is because I used to be friends with him, but he's no longer a part of the Drunken Peasants anymore. There's just Ben. And Ben made a really, really bad choice. And this is one of the reasons why I went after other YouTubers. Not because they came after me, but because other YouTubers made videos putting my wife's imagery and videos into their own videos and then talked massive shit about her. Any channel that did that, I had them removed by YouTube. I spent day after day reporting their videos 10 times and pointing out all the different videos that violate terms of service. And now I'm going to do that to Ben the Drunken Peasants. I am going to have the Drunken Peasants removed completely off of the internet. And anybody that copies their videos having to do with my wife or my son or my family, I'm going to report that as well. Why have I made the decision now and not before? Because the videos that were done towards me, I didn't care. I have no care in the world about people trying to embarrass me or say naughty things or whatever. However, Ben went over the line. Ben decided that him and a few of his buddies would actually try to contact an ex-girlfriend of my son. My son is 20 years old. And this jackoff decided that he wanted to get views on YouTube. So he dug into my son's Facebook page, he dug into my son's personal information, tried to find a couple of his family members as well as girlfriends that he's had in the past, and decided that they were going to go after my son in order to try to attack me. My son doesn't do YouTube videos. He doesn't come on YouTube and talk. He has nothing to do with the drama that's happening. But Ben decided to go over the line. And I told TJ Kirk and the Amazing Atheist several times whenever we talked on Skype, I said, look, you want to make fun of me? That's fine. I will let it go. You can say whatever the fuck you want about me. Do whatever the hell you want. But do not not get my wife into it. Do not pull my son or my daughter or any of that. Ben, however, he did not hold to our agreement. TJ Kirk did. TJ Kirk left my shit alone, and I stopped talking about his father and the fraud and the scams that he had pulled in that diploma mills. But Ben did not stop. He continued on. And when you attack a man's kids and you violate every terms of service and community guidelines, you should expect that you're going to pay for that. So now Ben's only income is coming from the drunken peasants, and I'm going to take that from him. And I'm going to do it in a legal manner. Now, Ben can go ahead and get on his show, and he can tell everybody that he wants money so he can sue me and all that shit. I've already got him recorded. I've already got footage, and I've also got images of him screwing around with underage girls. If he attempts to take me to court, I'm going to have him put away forever if he attempts to do that. So, that's it, Ben. You fucked up. You could have just left me alone. You could have just said, you know what, I'm going to move on and try to make the show a little bit more civilized and decent and everything, but you decided to continue on long after I left you alone. So, this is it. Say goodbye to your channel. You have violated terms of service and community guidelines on YouTube. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keene from God TV Radio. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all blessed. I've been noticing that the Drunken Peasants channel, the podcast, is dead. I want you guys to check this out. Their top videos on this thing, it says they have 120,000 subscribers. However, a majority of those people don't even watch the videos anymore, and I can prove that. Just simply scroll down at their latest stuff. They can't even break 10,000 views anymore on their channel. Most of their videos do not have over 10,000 views. But I'm going to show you something else that you'll find interesting too. I got this little app that tells me information about each person's channel. This is a video from 3 years ago, and this had me on there like for just a little short while. You'll see that it says The Drunken Peasants, Cringe Fest featuring Egghead and Brett Keene, DP 260. And that video, I was only on there for a little while, just a tiny while. And it was so fascinating for people to see Brett Keene that that video got 185,000 views. Now, that's actually small compared to what we were normally getting. If you watch any of the 8 times that I was on the show, you will see that the Amazing Atheist was able to accumulate I'd say over 500,000 views on any video that I was actually in, where it was me, TJ Kirk, his brother, Paul Zigo. Now, Paul Zigo, over on his channel, he can't even get over, like, I think at the most he might have maybe 20,000 subscribers, and that's because he accumulated that and trickled down from hanging out with the Amazing Atheist and doing a couple podcasts where he attempted to impersonate me or imitate me. Paul Zigo does not have the talent or skill to actually have a high rendering optimal channel that's going to bring in any real views or anything. He can barely get over 2,000 views on his own channel. And what's sad is his channel has existed for almost as long as I've been on YouTube. So that shows that people don't really give a rat's ass about Paul Zigo. He's kind of like the guy you put up with because they're there to see either Brett Keene or TJ Kirk. Now, this video is not meant to give TJ Kirk, the Amazing Atheist, any shit whatsoever. I really don't have any problems with the Amazing Atheist anymore. In fact, I've done a couple videos to him and commented to him over on BitChute, and I've tried to be positive and respectful. The point is a long time ago I predicted on the show, and you can actually watch the show on the Drunken Peasants. I told them that the podcast was going to die. And the Amazing Atheist said, no it won't. We keep on reaching new heights. We keep on getting more popular every single day. It's almost as popular as my Amazing Atheist channel. And I told him, I said, look, TJ, the only reason why the Drunken Peasants is getting any views at all is because of me and because of you. Not because of Ben or Paul's ego. Paul's ego can't even break 20,000 fucking subscribers, and the dude's been around for almost 15 years. Ben, on his own channel, he's not even getting over 1,000 fucking views on his own channel. People don't care about Ben. They think that he's a piece of trash. The only YouTuber that is hosting the Drunken Peasants at the moment that anybody really give a shit about, and even he's on a major decline from what I've noticed, especially with all the drama with Onision, is Billy the Fridge. And unfortunately, I think that his reputation for associating himself with an idiot like Ben has most likely damaged him permanently in the music business, as well as trying to accelerate any kind of creativity or career that he ever had intentions of having or ambitions. And that's the unfortunateness. It's the type of people that he hangs out with. If any music company out there, organization, ever wanted to sign Billy the Fridge, they're going to see all those videos where he's smoking dope and hanging out with retards on the podcast. That's going to be permanently damaging to any future ideas or things that he may have dreamed of. So it is what it is. And of course, if you go over to Billy the Fridge's channel, Billy, according to what I've noticed, I've only been back for a little while, he apparently decided to drive out to the home of Onision. Everybody knows that Billy the Fridge considers Onision a friend. Onision went from 1 million subscribers to making less than 15,000 views on his own channel, another atheist who has crashed and burned on the internet. This guy is making less than 15,000 views. Nobody's watching him anymore. The only people who watch Onision now are those who hate him and want to see him burn in a dumpster fire. He's become like a cancer on the internet. And I warned Onision a long time ago too. I said, Onision, sometimes you're too radical, you're too extreme. I said, you're going to piss people off and your relationships are very suspicious. You need to slow that shit down. Stop doing whatever you're doing over there. And I could not have ever imagined that it was as bad as what the hell people are saying out there. It's a lot worse than I could have ever even thought of. I'm not a sick person, so I would never imagine that somebody would be involved or associated in that kind of madness. But Billy decided to go to his home, get out of the vehicle, have one of his stupid buddies record the whole conversation, and Onision literally dry hump this big obese man right on video, right in front of everybody. Now, to let someone who is considered a villain or hated on the internet do something like that to you, that's almost like just holding your career up and saying, please, shoot bullet holes into it. I no longer have any interest in being successful or liked anymore. Just go ahead and just burn me to the damn ground. I mean, that's basically what Billy did. So now if you go over to Billy the Fridge's channel, it's completely wiped out. He's got shitloads of dislikes. There's a few people who still call him the good boy or something like that, but there's not much happening for Billy anymore. And I always, to be honest with you, I was hoping to be wrong about Billy. I really believe that he had some talent. I believe that he had the potential to go somewhere. But then he decided to go from being this really cool guy to being a part of a dickhead squad, a little gang of idiots, a bunch of dope heads and all that, and just blew it. It kind of sounds like the stories you always hear on MTV and VH1, those musicians that they used to seem popular or important at one point in time, and then they became irrelevant drug addicts who ended up either killing themselves or ruining their entire careers by stupid decisions and bad moves and commitments they made themselves to. Damn, he didn't even get a chance to make the big time. He already crashed and burned. That's fucking horrible. Well, that's that, ladies and gentlemen. You can see for yourself that when me and the Amazing Atheist hung out together, whenever we hosted the show, the success rate was inevitable. Always done good. But now that's over. Now the Amazing Atheist is trying to do it all by himself, and the poor bastard can barely break 20,000 views on his deep fat fried shit. And the Amazing Atheist channel, the guy's got 1 million fucking subscribers, even got an award from YouTube, and now he can barely knock out 70,000 views per video, and usually he has to wait 2 weeks to a month to even gain that kind of fuel in his videos whatsoever. It's fucking horrible. I'm seeing a lot of people from the past just falling apart, just dying out there. I know some people are going to ask, Brett, does it bring you any kind of pleasure? Yeah, in some ways, but on the other hand, I always wish that I could work things out with people. I prefer peace and resolution as opposed to, watching my enemies or people who made me their enemy when I didn't want to be, crash and burn. I would have actually preferred having a more friendlier relationship with a lot of people, but they chose the hell in the bed that they wanted to sleep in, and now I lay me down to sleep, pray the Lord and soul to keep and all that good shit. Alright, God bless, have a good day. Lui, 0 puis une barre.